Hi guys, it's Julian and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will continue reading this book, Polyglot Notes, and we will start from the last page from the last week. And well, let's start with this. Correct pronunciation. The last paragraph that we read, it is this. So I will make a review of this paragraph and then we will continue with the rest. Okay, correct pronunciation of, well, maybe I need to make a little review about these topics which we talked last week. Basically, the last week the book say that you need to make exercise with your mouth and know your how the muscles of your mouth works when you try to say a word or a character or just try to make a particular sound related with phonetics. And well, the book recommend you to uh, make make work like training in front of the mirror to release how those muscles move when you try to say a character, a phonetic, or a sentence, and have more control and speak with consciousness when you uh, try to speak, basically. So let's go ahead then. The last paragraph say this. Correct pronunciation of foreign speech consists of four important elements: correct articulation, accent, intonation, and connected speech. It is necessary to work on all the components of speech. Again, well, decide on your pronunciation. This is another paragraph. Each language has pronunciation, options, and dialectical features. Choose the option that you want or like. Again, decide on your pronunciation. Each language has pronunciation options and dialectical features. Choose the option that you want or like. I had the same problem than the last week. I forgot to put the the headphones. Um, okay, choose the option that you want or like. If you do not, if you don't know what kind of pronunciation you need, then proceed with the literary pronunciation. These rules are common for all native speakers, unlike dialectical features. This is weird. Okay, each language has pronunciation options and dialectical features. Choose the option that you want or like. If you do not know what kind of pronunciation you need, then proceed with literary pronunciation. These rules are common for all native speakers, unlike dialectical features. Okay, analyze your speech. Choose any audio or video with the text of the recording. Okay, analyze your speech. Choose any audio or video with the text of the recording. Listen to the voice of its medium. Then read the text yourself and record it. Available on any mobile device. Listen to your voice and compare it with the speech of the medium. Find out which sounds you're not pronouncing. Find out which sounds you're not pronouncing correctly. You will then have to practice the sound of your pronunciation. You can also check your pronunciation using special applications and websites. They allow you to assess how good and accurate your speech sounds. Okay, basically, this paragraph say that you need to recording yourself or find a video that you like, and then you need to say the same words that the video mentioned, and then compare your voice and your intonation and the way in which you pronounce those words compared with the original recording. Develop the correct articulation. Articulation is the position and movement of all speech organs. Precise pronunciation is directly dependent on correct articulation. this is pretty important, precise pronunciation is directly dependent on correct articulation. The position of the speech organs varies when speaking different languages. The position of the speech organs varies when speaking different languages. To ensure what your foreign speech does not sound the same. I screw up here. To ensure that your foreign speech does not sound the same as your native language, you need to learn to position your language and lips correctly when pronouncing certain sounds. On the internet, you can find photo and video diagrams of the articulator arrangement for each sound. Active listening and recognition of sounds. Their longitude and brevity. Audio recordings with individual sounds, syllables, words, sentences, or text are included. Okay, active listenings are. I don't know why I'm reading the same paragraph and again and over again today. It's weird. Active listenings and recognition of sounds, their longitude and brevity. Audio recordings with individual sounds, syllables, words, sentences, or text are included. Words can be either familiar or unfamiliar. When the learner hears the right sound in a word, she gives a sign. Clap her hands. Wow. When the learner hears the right sound in a word, she gives a sign, claps her hands, raises her hand. This exercise develops speech hearing and prepares the ground for another type of exercise. Playback exercise. The exercise is conducted in the classroom under the guidance of a teacher. At the beginning, students often repeat words, phrases, and speech structures behind the teacher or announcer. In class, this can be either choral or individual. Both are important. In choral chanting, the teacher sets a certain rhythm, determines pauses, marks accents, and shows the melody of a sentence with the movements of her hands. Then, one by one, each pupil individually performs the exercise. If necessary, the teacher corrects the pronunciation. Watch the accent. Wrong emphasis on the word can confuse native speakers and lead to misunderstandings. You need to watch your speech. If you are unsure of a word, if you are unsure of a word, go to the online dictionary and listen to the syllable you need to stress in a word. Incorrect accent can lead to misunderstandings. Work on your intonation. Correct intonation and logical emphasis is another key to improving pronunciation in a foreign language. Take the example of native speakers. Listen to audio recordings and watch videos with different themes. Repeat verses. If you want to speak without an accent, the intonation is something to work on. Wrongly chosen intonation can distort the meaning of what is said. It is as important a part of learning a foreign language as speaking and listening. Definition is possible by intonation. Repetition of the same phrase with different intonation depending on the speech task. Repetition of the same phrase with different intonation depending on the speech task. Work on the connectivity of speech. Usually, we use related speech. Words are formed into a single sentence. Related speech. Words are formed into a single sentence. Usually, we use related speech. Words are formed into a single sentence. In a conversation, the end of the previous word is merged. I got it. Yeah, I got it. This is when we usually, for example, in a real conversation, usually we combine different words to make the sentence more fluent. So, well, I hear about a technique which talk about that you need to, for example, if a sentence, if there is a vowel plus consonant plus vowel, you need to combine those sounds, and then it could sound more quickly the sentence, and it could be more fluent, something like that. It's just a quote. Usually we use related speech. Words are formed into a single sentence. In a conversation, in the end of the previous word is merged with the beginning of the next one. This allows speech to sound naturally and smoothly. This allows speech to sound naturally and smoothly. Give me a second because I will highlight this because I consider this is pretty important. Actually, all the last topics are pretty important for me. It's crazy. Use word playback until here. Good exercises. Okay. Use special pronunciation tutorials. Use special pronunciation tutorials. Good results will come from working with specialized training manuals that explain how to improve your pronunciation. They contain detailed explanations and illustrations of the position of the speech organs during the pronunciation of a sound, and also include CDs of exercises. It could be great if a series of such textbooks were available according to your foreign language skills. Interactive phonetic simulators are usually contained on CDs as a supplement to language textbooks or as a standalone program on a specialized linguistic website for online work. There are also programs to be installed on your computer and as mobile applications. Interactive phonetic simulator. Give me a second. I'm thirsty, so give me a second. There are also programs to be installed on your computer and as mobile applications. Interactive phonetic simulators face the task to work out correct pronunciation at the student according to the phonetic standard. Okay, my intonation here was awful, so maybe I need to repeat this sentence. Interactive phonetic simulators face the task to work out correct pronunciation at the student according to the phonetic standard. The simulator contains audio records as a single sound and the connection of several sounds, words, sentences, as well as ready-made dialogues, poems, stories, saying, idioms, cursive language. Audio recordings, a sample for the trainee. The correct pronunciation of sounds, studying accent, intonation, pace of speech, how to write in a word is read. Wow, this is kind of difficult sometimes. Well, it's not difficult, but my voice becomes more awful. On some simulators, there is a recorder on which you can record your pronunciation and then compare it with the standard of the speaker's pronunciation. Some interactive simulators can perform a sound analysis of your speech themselves, as shown, for example, in the multimedia guide. Professor Higgins. In this program, the trainee can compare his pronunciation by hearing and visually. which is shown on the monitor screen as a graphical display of sound. Interactive simulators contain practical exercise packages where you can listen to a printed word. Here, transcription marks print the word you're listening to. This was awful. Interactive simulators contain practical exercise packages where you can listen to a printed word. Here, transcription marks print the word you're listening to, and much more. A diagram for the articulation apparatus when speaking sound is shown. Work on your listening skills. This is pretty important, dude. The better you listen to a foreign language, the better your pronunciation will be. Wow, that's crazy. The better you listen to a foreign language, the better your pronunciation will be. Many people find it difficult to pronounce due to lack of work with audio material. The more you listen to foreign speech, the clearer. Again, the more you listen to a foreign speech, the clearer you can distinguish sounds. Quite often, pronunciation errors are due to the fact that the student has a wrong idea of how a word or a sound is heard. Quite often, pronunciation errors are due to the lack that the student has a grown again. Quite often, pronunciation errors are due to the fact that the student has a wrong idea of how a word or a sound is heard. Listening to native speakers gives you an idea of how the word or sound should sound properly. Be sure to listen for at least 10-15 minutes a day. Then you will not have to ask yourself how to put a foreign pronunciation. Learn the my voice. Learn the dude. Dude, I cannot start the sentence. Learn the dude. Learn the transcription. I don't know why my tongue is black. Learn the transcription, dude. It's awful. learn the transcription. Dude, what happened with me? Learn the transcription. Learn the transcription of a foreign language. Take a look. Learn the transcription of a foreign language. Learn the transcription of a foreign language. Take a look at the International Phonetic Alphabet as a system for recording Latin transcription characters. Take a look at the International Phonetic Alphabet, a system for recording Latin transcription characters. It will take you 1-2 days to learn the transcriptions. When you learn the rules of reading, it will make your work with the dictionary much easier. Okay, learn the transcription of a foreign language. Take a look at the International Phonetic Alphabet, a system for recording Latin transcription characters. It will take you 1-2 days to learn the transcription. When you learn the rules of reading, when you learn the rules of reading, it will make your work with dictionary much easier. Learn words correctly. If you meet a new word, turn on the online dictionary and listen to a native speaker several times. If you meet a new word, turn on the online dictionary and listen to a native speaker several times, or open an ordinary dictionary and read the phonetic transcription. In this way, you will immediately learn how to pronounce a word correctly. Read out loud. Reading is an activity that will help you combine the pleasant with the useful. Enjoy your favorite book and get rid of the accent. When reading aloud, you do the most important thing. Use your theoretical knowledge of pronunciation in practice. Take your time. Try to pronounce each word clearly and correctly. I will do that. And if the sound is difficult to give you, repeat it several times until you achieve a more or less intelligible sound. Repeat it several times until you achieve a more or less intelligible sound. Speak short conversations. Choose a few shortcuts to work out the sounds that are difficult for you, or speak short conversation. Choose a few shortcuts to work out the sounds that are difficult for you and read them daily. This will take 5, 10, 7 minutes a day. You should read the recursive first slowly. You should read the cursive. You should read the cursive first slowly, gradually speeding up the piece as you progress. Observe the rhythm of your pronunciation. Do not forget about the pace and diction. Watch a special training video. There are videos on the internet in which a native speaker explains in detail how to pronounce sounds correctly. Sometimes video clips include diagrams showing the correct position of the speech organs. Yeah, a pretty good channel about this. It's American American Sounds. I guess it's pretty useful and talks about phonetics. It was pretty useful for me because I spent a couple of days training the way in which I say the phonetics, and it was beautiful. I fell in love, and I found more useful that to improve the way in which I say the words and the characters, even than other resources. So let's go ahead. There are videos on the internet in which a native speaker explains in detail how to pronounce sounds correctly. Sometimes video clips include diagrams showing the correct position of the speech organs. These videos show you exactly how a particular sound should sound. Mimic the speeches of native speakers. Mimic the speeches of native speakers. This is pretty important. Well, right now I'm trying to apply the strategy to close my mouth when I finish a sentence or a word, and I learned that in this book actually, and after that I start to study how the native speakers make movements with their face when they speak, and it's pretty useful and it's fascinating actually because change the whole sentence, the whole meaning sentence in their speech. It's crazy. Mimic the speeches of native speakers. Choose an interesting video or audio and try to achieve a sound like the speaker. Imitate every little detail. This is shadowing, the technique. I need to apply this more often. Imitate every little detail. The way you talk, the way you tone, the accent, the logical pauses and accents. In this way, you can achieve the correct foreign pronunciation. It is convenient to use special audio and video materials for training. Install special mobile applications. I have a lot. All kinds of all kinds of applications for smartphones and tablets are a great guide for those who want to improve their pronunciation in a foreign language. With the apps, you can listen to foreign words. You can listen to foreign words, pass speech understanding tests, and record and listen to your voice. Take your time. Every word must be spoken carefully. It is important to have a competent and comprehensible pronunciation from the very beginning of language learning. Wow, that's pretty important. Every word must be spoken carefully. It is important to have a competent and comprehensible pronunciation from the very beginning of language learning. Practice every day. This is very important. The more you speak a foreign language, the more likely you are to speak correctly. Do not let your accent embarrass you. Everyone has their own accent, their own way of speaking. Speak more often. Try to pronounce words correctly. Regularly take time for phonetic exercises, and then your accent will gradually disappear from your speech. Find yourself a mentor. Not always and not always an inexperienced who. Sorry, that was my timer. Um, well, until now, I guess it was a good session. I enjoyed this session actually, and I feel well. Today I start to apply that strategy to pay attention to my voice when I make a pause and I close my mouth, and I feel that I feel more confident when I need to express ideas or talk. So it's pretty useful, and I don't know. That's it. And well, it was a pleasure, guys. See you the next time, and bye bye. Have a good day.